Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining me. First of all, before I go on, just want to say welcome to everybody if you're new here, and thank you ever so much everybody for all your continued support. Now, a few days ago, I did a video, well, one of many in fact, on Keir Starmer, and in particularly your feelings about the current situation. This is the thumbnail for that video. Are you angry with Starmer? Now, what I did, I cited probably about 5 or 6 particular things that have happened since the Labour government have come into power, come into being, things that personally have pissed me off, and I'm fairly sure that they probably pissed you off too. And what I wanted to do was put them in front of you and give you the opportunity to air your views, air your, well, grievances, if that's what you want to call it, or just give your opinion. Now, I've collated a load of those comments, and I want to go through some of them now, so, you know, we can get your opinions aired in public. So here we go. Right. Alan, vote reform when the local and general election comes up. Do not stay at home. Get out there and vote reform. We need real change. Someone that will support the English way of life. Vote reform. Well, I can see what colours you've pinned your mask to. Definitely reform. You have a very important message in your comment, and that is people do need to come out and people do need to voice their opinion of the future that they want for this country. I think we've seen election after election after election, this lot in power at the moment and those before them have ground us so far into the dust. We're totally disenfranchised, and we think, well, what's the point? Nah, sod it, I'm not going to. And it all kind of works in the favour of the system that's there, amongst other things. So you do make a very valid point. Winter hay, some people apparently voted for change, and boy, did we get it. Yeah, not for the best. User, he has become a parasite. Well, there was an interesting video that Paz did. In fact, he's mentioned it a couple of times over his videos, whereby he's rightly saying how slippery this lot are. And if they see a problem with regard to their own clutch on power, so to speak, they'll do something to get rid of it. And there is a worry that Starmer's unpopularity amongst the masses may cause problems. So we'll see how that one goes. Donaghy, 2 or 3 years. He's done more damage in 2 months. Doesn't bear thinking about. Yeah, I mean, you saw the comment, didn't you, where, you know, he said he needs 10 years to fix the country. 10 years? Really? Nigel Francis, watch the Crispin Flintoff show from today about an independent journalist now placed under house arrest, and tell me you are not terrified by how much power our police have been given. One of the things that we have a fear of, or some apprehension, and I'm not quite at that level yet, is our ability to say what we think and our ability to call out the system if we believe that it's wrong, our ability to let everybody know. It appears that if you go against the status quo of your opinions, if you go against the way things should be, the way they want them to be, then you will be held accountable for what comes out of here. I've seen many YouTubers now put a disclaimer at the beginning or at the end of their YouTube podcasts or lives or whatever it happens to be, to cover their ass, to say what I say and do here is not incitement of any way, shape or form, so please don't think it is. Whether that holds any weight in a court or not, I don't know, but I've always been of the opinion that you can get your point across, you can point things out, you can expose things without going, you know, completely blotto. There's ways of doing it, and I like to think that I steer that ship firmly down that channel, but we will see. Bernard, don't get me started. How about Evil Monster? That's a good start. Yeah, again, not very popular. Amanda Keefe, get him and co out, not fit for purpose, bullying pensioners, turning on British people, traitors. Yeah, and everything seems to be far right, doesn't it? If you go against the grain, it's far right. Oleg Formal, I am mad with them, and I never voted for them. Yeah, that's another valid point right there, isn't it? What was it, 34, 38% of the public vote, and they got in with a majority of that size? Something isn't right with the way things are done around here, really, are they? That's definitely true. Greece, bring back Jeremy Corbyn. Well, Starmer was a mate of his for ages, apparently in the public face. But has he got a group with 4 other people in it, or he's a part of a group of 4? I was reading earlier, all pro Gaza. Martin Gibbs, they seem to revel in their determined unpopularity. I don't think they give a shit, or they're so short-sighted they can't see it or choose not to. Sidney Lewis, yes, very short and to the point. Boudicca, yes, very angry with Starmer. He should be jailed for the damage he's allowed to be done to this country. I think the thing with Starmer, and it's not necessarily specific to him, what they tend to do, they tend to make a load of promises and a load of guarantees and say, oh, we'll do this, we'll do that. All the grandiose gestures. And then at some point down the line, I never said that. That's not what I meant. You misinterpreted me, or just deny it totally. They're all the damn same. And this is a lot of the problem with our politics. Paul Hurley, I am more angry at the useful idiots who voted for Starmer and his so-called Labour Party. I think they will repent at their leisure. We're seeing this, aren't we? They are regretting what they voted for. Angry, blooming furious, more like 2 Rev Shills in a row as PM. It's a handing of the baton, isn't it, from one lot of shills to the other? That's what it is. That's what we've seen. I've never felt so bitter and angry towards any Prime Minister as I have for Starmer and his wretched, incompetent cohorts. This is it. User again, why hasn't Starmer been arrested for treason and assault on the British people? There's an awful lot of content out there now. Vobes is one that's covered this a fair bit. The differences between legal and lawful, and what they apparently can do, and what they apparently can't do, and apparently what they make us believe they can do. It's an absolute minefield when you start digging into it. People need to wake up. Alan, the whole of Labour needs dissolving now before we lose our country and our identity. Angry isn't a strong enough word for how most people, including myself, feel about this Labour government. Robert James, are you angry with Starmer? Well, slightly, yes. William Callahan, he is a complete joke. Him and his cronies feel their cronies are not for the people, they're for themselves. He's a commie, they've no army, no money. So what's their plan? I see, well, trouble looming. Yeah, absolutely. Another thing that I've seen, 2 cheeks of the same arse. That's all we have here. Conservatives and Labour, they've all melded into the same, haven't they? That's what we're left with, that system. Now, I think that change does need to happen. And it's this complete disaster of a government one step towards some kind of change? Who knows? But something definitely needs to give somewhere. Question is, how do we get there? Malcolm Mason, you're 100% right. The master plan is to push so hard that we all submit. Submit or crack. Deb Mance, I'm very angry. I'm spitting venom. Lee Robinson, ask yourself, what am I getting out of this system which you're paying for? If you're like me, it's not very much. Again, that's another valid point, isn't it? You think of all of the things that we're expected to pay, right? Income tax, council tax, national insurance, TV license, road tax, loads and loads of things, VAT, tax on goods, tax. Where does it all go, really? And when we're told that we can't afford winter fuel payments for our own pensioners, where's the rest of the money going? It's no, doesn't wash with me, I'm afraid. Doesn't wash. Margaret Thompson is very angry. Justin, I'm not angry. It's pure deep hate. Yes. User, it's amazing he can behave like this after being voted in. And it seems we can do nothing about it until the next election. No mention of tax hikes. No mention of removing winter fuel allowances. No mention of taking us back closer to the effing EU. No mention of changes to inheritance tax. So the story seems to be get him for 5 years by whatever means and do what the hell you like as the public are stuffed. Shouldn't manifestos bear some resemblance to what we can expect if we give somebody our vote? You know, you're absolutely right in every respect. I'm absolutely dreading the budget when it's going to come and what they're going to put in it. And one of the problems I have with politicians, as I do with anybody in any walk of life, I take you at your word. You know, I like to trust people. I like to trust that they're honourable. I like to trust that they are genuine in their feelings and concerns and what they do. And I like to trust that they will do the right thing by me, us, all of us. And that goes for politicians too. And the fact they seem to, well, not or won't, that's a big problem in my eyes. I think more and more people are waking up to this. That is for sure. That is for sure. Lynn Shaw, I think his wife should kick him out for what he's doing to this country. Just wait when his kids grow up. They'll get to know what kind of a dad he is to this country and that he sells British people down the Swanee so he can get more money from his peers. I mean, let's face it. Is he really the one in charge, or is he just doing as he's told by somebody else? That's the thing. Chloe Devereux, the entire planet is angry. Yeah. I think we're getting pockets of this everywhere, aren't we? Signals 927. Yes. I didn't vote for this man. We have hate marches week after week by a certain group, yet nothing is done. Couple more comments. KW8757. Starmer is an exceptionally dangerous man. Make no mistake. He has seen it as his destiny to change his country to his sick ideology since he was a young man. He's not going to let anything get in the way of that. He will be utterly ruthless in his pursuit. Mark my words. I mean, you know, this socialism is one step on the way to something else, isn't it? Last comment, looks a bit colourful at the end. I cannot begin to describe how incandescent with unbridled fury I am at the state of my country, which doesn't feel like England anymore. I'm glad you said England. We need to keep that distinguishment. Very pissed off 64-year-old disabled army veteran. And in a personal message to all politicians, stop being lying, cheating, self-serving, greedy, dishonest wankers. Well, on that sentiment, you know, that's the last comment. You're all feeling the same. All feeling the same. This lot have got in, and we've seen some very horrible, very questionable things already, which gives us great pause. And it's only been a short amount of time, hasn't it? And we wonder what's going to happen next, where this is going to go, what freedoms are going to be taken, and what we can and can't say in our defence. One to keep an eye on for sure, wouldn't you say? Thank you ever so much, all of you, for your support. I really appreciate it. If you haven't done so and you're just tuning in for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Free to do, no questions asked, and it really helps. Hit the like button, share me on your social media, and I'll be back, well, tomorrow with more content, that's for sure. And as always, I look forward to talking to you again soon. Toodaloo.